Today we're looking at notes 5-9, imaginary numbers. So before we get to that, we need to review a couple of things about taking the square root. So as we've discussed before this year, taking the square root of 9, the reason it is 3 is because 9 is 3 times 3, and when you have a pair of two numbers that are the same being multiplied together, that's when you can take it out of the square root. So square root of 9 equals 3. Okay? You've also learned before, probably in Algebra 1 and probably dealt with it also in geometry, something not quite as simple, square root of 12, can be simplified. When you break up 12, 4 times 3, 2 times 2 is 4, drag down the 3. So 12 is 2 times 2 times 3. None of these go any further. So what you can do is circle your pairs, which we only have a pair of 2's. So the square root of 12 is 2 square root of 3. So we take a pair of 2's out, the 3 stays in. Okay, number 3. What if I told you to simplify 2 square root of 45? Okay, you only break up what's under this radical, square root. So 45 is 9 times 5. And 9 is 3 times 3. Drag down the 5 because 5 doesn't go any further. So 45 is 3 times 3 times 5. None of these numbers go further. We have a pair of 3's, but you've already got a 2 on the outside. So you're going to have 2 times the 3 that you're taking out, square root 5 stays in. So this is 6 square root 5. And that's your answer. Okay, look at another one, number 4. Square root of 540. So the easiest way I see to break this up is 54 times 10. Okay, 54 is 9 times 6. 10 is 5 times 2. 9 is 3 times 3. 6 is 2 times 3. 5 doesn't go any further, and 2 doesn't go any further, so drag it down. So essentially, 540 is 3 times 3 times 2 times 3 times 5 times 2. So I have a set of 3's, a pair of 3's. I also have a pair of 2's, and that's it. So what comes out is a pair of 3's times a pair of 2's. What's left in is a 3 and a 5. So 3 times 2 is 6. Radical 3 times 5 is 15. Okay? Last one I want to review with you before we get to the new stuff, number 5. Okay, negative square root 75. Okay, so break up 75, 25 and 3. 25 is 5 and 5, 3 doesn't go any further. So pair of 5's, and you've already got a negative on the outside, so it'd be negative 5 square root 3. Okay. So let's get to the new stuff. All right, let us look at something a little different. So new material, and I still want you to simplify. Okay, number 1, square root negative 2. So before I tackle this, what you need to know is the square root of negative 1 equals what we call I. It's an imaginary number. Okay, so let's break up square root negative 2. So anytime you have a negative under the radical, how I want you to break it up is a negative 1 times that number. So negative 1 times 2. Unfortunately, 2 doesn't go any further, so there's nothing we can pair up and take out. So the negative 1 is the only thing that's going to come out, and negative 1 under the radical comes out as an I. So we're going to write I radical 2. Because the 2 can't come out, it's not a pair, stays in. Okay, let's look at another example. So how about square root negative, let's say 18. Okay, the first thing you're going to do is always negative 1 times 18. 18 breaks up, you can think of it 9 and 2, or 6 and 3. I'm going to go ahead and go with 9 and 2. So then the 9 is 3 and 3, and the 2 can't go further, so drag it down. So here's what you're going to take out. You're always going to take out the -1. I have a set of 3's, and that's it. So the set of 3's comes out as 3. The -1 comes out as an I, and then we have a square root of 2 left in the house. Okay. How about if I have something like square root of, say, -4? Okay, on this one, I always -1 times 4 first, and then 4 is 2 times 2. Okay, so the -1 is going to come out as an I. We have a set of 2's, so it's going to be 2I, and notice there's nothing else left in the house, so that's it, 2I. Okay, look at another example, 2 square root -27. Okay, so again, always -1 times 27. 27 is 3 times 9. 3 doesn't go further, drag it down. 9 is 3 times 3. None of those go further. Circle your -1, circle your 3's. So 3 comes out, -1 comes out as I square root 3. Okay, just a few more examples because I bet you're getting the hang of it by now. Number 5. 5 square root -40. Okay, so -1 times 40. 40 is 8 times 5. 8 is 4 times 2. 5 drags down. 4 is 2 times 2. Drag down the 2, drag down the 5. We have a set of 2's and the -1. We've already got a 5 on the outside, so it'd be 5 times 2 times that I square root 2 times 5 left on the inside. So to simplify this, 5 times 2 is 10I. 2 times 5 is also 10, so 10I square root 10. Okay. One more. So I have a negative on the outside, square root of -48. That'd be -1 times 48. 48 could be 6 times 8. 6 is 3 times 2. 8 is 4 times 2. 3 and 2 come down. 4 is 2 times 2. That other 2 comes down. So I've got a set of 2's, another set of 2's, a -1. I've already got a negative on the outside. Okay, 2 comes out, another set of 2 comes out. All right, the -1 comes out as an I. Square root, the only thing left on the inside is the 3. So that'd be -4I square root of 3.